Hello again YouTube, and welcome back to my channel, and today I'll bring you yet another video. This time I'm going to be carrying on with my guides, moving down to my priest with its very ugly LFR / dungeon gear, which was so not worth even putting 5 minutes into, but you know, it's fine. He still has decently cool shoulders. I guess that counts for something. And the Ferricane tabard just ruins it, but it's all good. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the guide and come off this and go into game. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I'm not actually in Orgrimmar or at the dummies. I thought, I've been in the dummies for the past 5 guides. Why not change things up a little bit and make it look a bit more juicy? So I've decided to get a bit of a high little background here with the lava looking really cool and that. And plus we have enemies to test out abilities on, so it's all cool. Okay. Starting off, level 15, we've got Void Tendrils, we've got Scyfiend and Dominant Mind. This is a 1.3 second cast, it's a 30-second cooldown, it has 30-yard range, and controls the mind up to level 88 for 30 seconds. Does not work versus mechanical beings. Now, I believe, at the moment, I don't think that reaches its full potential, because it says controls the mind up to level 88. I'm not sure if it's actually going to increase when Mop is out, so you can use Control Mind or Dominant Mind on a player when you hit level 90. But if it doesn't, then all this ability does is control the mind of a level 88 for 30 seconds. I'm guessing it's just a 30-second CC. That's what I'm putting it to, and a repeatable CC at that, because it's on a 30-second cooldown and it lasts 30 seconds. Scyfiend, you summon a Scyfiend that stands in place for 10 seconds. The Scyfiend casts a Psychic Terror on a nearby enemy within 20 yards every 1.5 seconds, preferring anything attacking the priest. Anything attacking the priest, the Scyfiend will focus. And Fear every 1.5 seconds. Yeah, so Psychic Terror causes enemies to flee for 30 seconds. Damage caused may interrupt the effect. Now this is 30 seconds for NPCs, PvE mobs, but I would say I think it was 7 seconds or around 5 seconds for a PvP player. Great ability for PvP. Strongly recommend it. Like, seriously, I can't stress it enough how good that ability is for PvP. Void Tendrils summons shadowy tendrils out of the ground, rooting up to 5 targets within 8 yards for 20 seconds. Killing the tendril will cancel the effect. AoE CC, always useful. You could use it for PvP, you could use it for PvE as well. It's down to what you guys want. I, for PvE, would probably go Void Tendrils for the AoE snaring, for kiting mobs and that. For PvP, I'd probably go Scyfiend, but that's just what I want. Don't base it on what I want, base it on what you think. I'm trying to explain it, but it is quite hard for Priest. You can root target, or you can Dominant Mind for PvE. You won't want a single target Fear. You shouldn't be getting attacked in PvE, so the Scyfiend will be focusing random mobs, and it could even ruin a fight. So you won't want that, you will want a snare or a CC. Now once you start hitting endgame, CCs won't be needed, so Void Tendrils will be your best bet. But if you feel CCs needed at the beginning of the expansion in the new raids, new dungeons, then Dominant Mind is a good way to go. Right, level 30 you've got Body and Soul, Angelic Feather and Phantasm. This is a passive. When you fade, you remove all movement and parent effects from yourself, and you become untargetable by ranged attacks, and your movement speed is unhindered for 3 seconds. Strongly PvP again. I wouldn't use this in PvE. You don't need it for PvE. 1, you shouldn't be getting ranged attacks on you that are like actually constant. You should only get spells from the boss here and there. You shouldn't be getting movement impaired from the boss, and nor will you be able to take it off if he does. And the boss shouldn't be slowing you that much either. So not good for PvE, but great for PvP. Angelic Feather. You place the feather at the target location. If allies walk through it, they gain 60% movement speed for 4 seconds. Only 3 feathers can be placed. Oh, so annoying. can be placed at one time, and this accumulates an additional charge every 10 seconds. For those of you who have done Firelands, you would have done Let's Razor, and it's the same system, except it doesn't give you the free casting. And what it does is just, if you're a priest, I'll show you it quickly. In fact, I'll show you the Sire Fiend as well, because I feel they're the two most important ones here. I'll use the Sire Fiend, heal fear whoever's targeting me, and if I use Angelic Feather, if I place it there for example, if someone walks through it, movement speed. This is the same as Alex Razor's Feathers, where you get it and you get free casting, etc. But it's movement speed. This is great for PvE, to help people get out of situations, but that is also what you have Leap of Faith for. I believe if priests still have it. You got it for arenas, great for arenas to get to and get away from people, considering you can use it yourself. Great for BGs, it's an all-round great ability. Considering it's on a 10-second recharge, I mean, I don't see 3 feathers getting consumed in a space of 10 seconds, especially if you can't place them correctly. You need to be able to place them at the right spot, and people need to be at the right spot at the right time to grab these feathers, as the speed effect only lasts a small duration, so you've got to time it correctly. Body and Soul, when you cast Power Word Shield or Leap of Faith, you increase the target's movement speed by 60% for 4 seconds. Now this PvE based is probably my favourite one, being the fact that you place a Power Word Shield on someone just at the base fact that they could die, and this gives them enough movement speed to get out as well. Whilst that one's situationally based and that one's not good for PvE, I'd go for that for PvE. For PvP, it's down to what you're doing. If you're healing, I'd probably still go Angelic Feather to help the teammate, but if you feel your shadow, or you feel helping your teammate isn't as necessary as helping yourself, you can get Phantasm. Moving on, 45, you've got From Darkness Comes Light, Mindbender and Power Word Solace. From Darkness Comes Light, you have a 15% chance when you smite, heal, flash heal, binding heal or greater heal to cause your next flash heal to be an instant cast and have no mana cost. Limit 2 charges. This is a passive, so this could happen when you use any of your spells. This could save people both in PvP and PvE. More likely to happen in PvE because you dish out a lot more spells. This also works for Shadow as well. Periodic damage from your Vampiric Touch has a 15% chance to cost your next Mind Spite to not consume the damage over time effects, become an instant cast and cost no mana and deal 50% additional damage. Now my guess is this won't be used as much because I think Mind Spec's not actually a used spell in new rotation, but I might be wrong. And then we got Mindbender. This has a 1 minute cooldown, it's instant. Grants an improved version of Shadow Fiend that is unsustainably more effective at dealing damage and generating mana. This just literally makes a stronger Shadow Fiend, so if you find you're going low in mana, you can get that. If you feel you need that extra bit of DPS, you can get that as well. Powered Solace, strike an enemy with the power of heavens, dealing almost, I'll just say 8.5k holy damage and restoring your 0.7% of your mana. While in shadow form, this spell transforms into Insanity. Consumes your Shadow Word Pain to deal 20k damage to the target, only usable while Shadow Word Pain has less than 5-second cooldown remaining. Or no, sorry, yeah, when only has, yeah, okay. When Shadow Word Pain is reached at 5-second tick time remaining, you can consume it and it can dish out 20k damage. It's an instant cast, and I cannot see the cooldown. I think there's no cooldown because you have to apply your Shadow Word Pain and wait for it to go back down to 5 seconds. That's a great DPS increase. If it was me, end game, I'd go Power Word Solace. Early game, if you have mana problems, Mindbender, but I'd still probably go Power Word Solace for the highest DPS increase. PvP, I would still go Power Word Solace. Moving on, we've got Desperate Prayer, Spectral Guise and Angelic Bulwark. This instantly heals the target for 30% of their total health, instantly a good ability. PvP and PvE. but as a shadow I wouldn't see anyone using it in PvE. Spectral Guise, instant 30-second cooldown. Your shadow blurs into darkness, leaving your true form behind. As a shadow you are stealthed but remain in combat. Last 6 seconds or until your true form is hit by 3 direct attacks. It's a great ability, not for PvE, for PvP. Going stealth against a boss is not going to save you. In PvP you can go stealth and they have to either hit your real target 3 times or wait until you come out of stealth. This gives you such a strong advantage because you can go into stealth 6 seconds while they're taking ticks from your dots, sorry. So it's really powerful. Passive, anytime a damaging attack brings you below 30% health, you gain an absorption shield equal to 20% of your total health, lasting for 20 seconds. This is probably the PvP one I would go for, being the fact that it's a passive. It's pretty much Sacred Shield. For those of you who know Sacred Shield from Ret Paladins, it's always been an overpowered ability. It's always allowed Paladins to go from 40k health back up to full just because of the Sacred Shield. This is Sacred Shield but in a priest perspective. That I would get for PvP. That I'd probably still get for PvE if you're Shadow. For PvE healer, I'd go for the Desperate Prayer. I mean, you can get it as Shadow if you want as well, but I think that's a bit more situational, a bit more of a lifesaver. But I don't know if you still have Dispersion as a default, if I can check. Yeah, you do. But yeah, that's that. If you don't have Dispersion, that would save you. Moving on, we've got the level 75 abilities. We've got Twist of Fate, Power Infusion, and Divine Insight. Twist of Fate, as a passive, after damaging or healing a target below 20% health, you deal 15% increased damage and healing for 10 seconds. Now, this is strongly situational. Well, it's hard to say. I'm going to go to the other ones first and then I'll tell you if that would be worth it. Power Infusion, instant 2-minute cooldown, increases the priest power with increasing spell casting speed by 20% and reducing the mana cost of all spells by 20 seconds. Last 20 seconds. Divine Insight, passive discipline spec. When you cast Penance, there is a 40% chance your next power word shield will ignore and not cause a weakened soul effect, allowing you to do it a second time if it procs. This could happen constantly if your Penance procs all the time. Holy, when you cast Greater Heal or Prayer of Healing, there is a 40% chance your next Prayer of Mending will not trigger its cooldown and will jump to each target instantly. Once again, it's really good for AoE healing. I mean, if you dish out a single target Greater Heal or a Prayer of Healing and you get a big heal and then it procs that, and then you can put out a crap load of more AoE and not put it on cooldown. It's really powerful for healing. I would prefer to go Holy spec for that than Discipline, because a single target shield over AoE healing, nah. AoE healing, it comes out every time. Shadow, your periodic damage from your Shadow Word Pain has a 5% chance to reset the cooldown on Mind Blast and cause your next to be instant cast. Well, that's a very small chance of that happening. So it's hard to say. I would say for Shadow, I would go Twist of Fate. Because when your boss hits 20% health, you start hitting 15% more damage. I'm not sure what the cooldown on it, but it's really powerful. Divine Insight, I'd go for healer. Cascade, Divine Star, and Halo. Cascade is an instant cast on a 25-second cooldown with quite a big range. Launches a holy bolt at the target that grows in power as it travels, which causes up to blah 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 damage and up to 16k healing as well. This effect can bounce from allies to other allies or from enemies to other enemies. Each time it bounces, it will split into 2 bolts. It tries to go for or prioritizes away targets and never hitting the same target twice. Cascade can bounce up to 3 times. Deals shadow damage or healing while in shadow form. Really powerful ability. I'd say it's more preferred for AoE, but it's a 25-second cooldown, so you can stick it into your rotation. It does do quite a bit of AoE healing as well. Divine Star, instant 15-second cooldown, fires a Divine Star in front of you, travelling 24 yards, causing 5k damage to all enemies and 5k healing to all enemies within its path. After reaching its destination, it will return to you, also doing damage and healing to all targets in its path. Deals spell damage and healing while in shadow form. It's good because it can hit more targets, but it does less damage. The fact that you shoot this star and say you go through 10 enemies, you'll hit 5k on all of them and heal all your teammates that you hit, then it will come back and damage them and heal all of them again. Whilst that on the other hand only bounces 3 times. Halo, instant cast, 40-second cooldown, creates a ring of holy energy around you that quickly expands, that grows in power up to 30 yards away, deals up to 32k damage to enemies and up to 54k healing to allies, with the greatest effect at 25 yards. Halo's very situational based, but heals a hell of a lot of damage. I mean, this is ridiculous. Now this I really can't pick for you. It's how you, it's the way it works. If I was you, if you're PvPing, I would go for Halo, but when it comes to PvE, bring some Dust of Disappearance for you, with you, and when you get into a boss fight, wait until you see what the situational positioning is with the raid fight, as in where people stack up and what people do, whether people spread out. If they spread out, you're gonna want to get Cascade or Halo, but if they don't spread out, you would want to get Divine Star. There's a lot of AoE mobs, you're gonna want to get Divine Star. If there's a lot of if there's like a small amount of mobs but they're like slightly separated, you want to get Cascade. If you want to just in general hit anyone around you, you can get Halo. Now that's down. A Halo's down to your positioning. The other two are down to the raid positioning and the boss fight's position. So it's down to your choice. Now Glyphs, same old stuff. This one looks new. You can now cast Prayer of Mending and Renew and Leap of Faith without cancelling shadow form. Not that big of a deal. It just makes your sustain in PvP a bit more strong, and you can annoy people with Leap of Faith whilst in shadow form as well. Anything else that is new? When you apply Devouring Plague to a target, you can take on the form of a dark angel. Okay, I'm gonna try that out. See what this does. I have to change it now. One moment, guys. See what this does. Not enough shadow orbs. Okay, how do I get shadow orbs? I'm assuming this is how. Okay. This is slightly weird. Okay, that's how you get shadow orbs. Devouring Plague. Have I turned in? Okay, let's try that again. Okay, I just get wings. Okay, not that really impressive. You should have seen that glyph there. Just makes you less purple. Don't like it personally. Just makes someone confess a secret. Your levitate targets will appear to be riding on a cloud for the duration of the spell. I am going. Oh, I don't have it. Sorry. Your target appears in. When you resurrect someone, they appear in a light. When your orbs now appear as ravens. Your shadow form extends to your non-combat pets. So I'm guessing pet journal, them pets there. And this, while Spirit of Redemption is active, you now appear as a Valkyrie. There is no really new abilities apart from the fact that you got Dispersion as a default, Leap of Faith. I can't see anything new apart from that thing there. You and your currently targeted party or raid member will swap health percentages, increasing the lower health percentage of the 2 to 25% if below that amount. Really cool, but you could end up killing yourself. It's once again, that's great for anything, but you get it anyway, so there's no fuss in that. Anyway, I think I've pretty much covered everything. I believe so. I hope this helped you guys. Once again, I'll be doing another guide next time with I believe it's my druid that I'm doing next. But regardless, remember to come back. If you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I thank you guys for watching. This is Jimmy, and I'll see you guys next time.